on? I'm just looking for my bubbles. How's everyone's night going? Uh, You guys, I know it's the bubbles today. Sorry, my room is a mess too. I have a bag over there of clothes I'm trying to donate. I'm trying to downsize my clothes, to just things that I wear normally. And I have so much clutter. It's just too much. So, honestly, this is like, how many bags have I taken to this thrift store of the course of me being here? Probably 15 bags. I know that sounds ridiculous, but when I first moved here, well, a couple years ago, I bought so much clothes, and it was a lot of like a professional attire, excuse me. And now some of that clothes has been kind of like worn, or it's just taking up space. But yeah, I'm choosing to just kind of stay off camera today. But I've been watching some content regarding Derrick Jaxon, and I'm seeing some of his old videos, and it just solidifies how much this guy's a fraud because the stuff he was saying on there, it's almost like he was describing himself. I'm sorry if I'm not talking too loud. My kids have like finally started potty training, and today was hectic. I know it's tough like when people have kids, but when there's two of them, my gosh, they fight over everything. Even the potty for the potty training, like they were fighting over it. Like it's crazy. Like they were both just kind of sitting on it and getting up. They're not there yet. And then like at one point, one of my kids pooped, like started pooping and taking her diaper off, and she was rubbing her hands in the poop. It was so disgusting. Like pray for me, you guys. Pray for my kids and me to get through this hump. It was just, I'm not in the business of like, trying to wipe poop off of extension cords. I've done the diapers, I'm still doing the diapers, but this is gross. So just help me out, pray for me. If y'all got any advice for me as well, if y'all have kids, comment, comment, let me know what you guys did about the poop stage, about like the potty training poop stage. But I saw a video of Derrick Jaxon, and I was trying to guess revisit some of the scandal because this is like the second or third time I think he got caught. The first time he got caught was with a woman that was a surgeon. So she worked in a hospital, and basically, I guess she said she was a Caribbean woman, and I guess he had told her, "Hey Jojo, how you doing, brother?" Uh, I'm, I'm doing well, but how are you? I visited your channel the other day, you know, just to see what's up, what you doing. Um, but anyway, yes, Derrick Jaxon he cheated on his wife with a woman that was a surgeon, and at some point, um, I believe she said she was actually pregnant, and they were debating whether to keep the baby or have an abortion. I think ultimately the woman decided to have an abortion. I don't know what her religious background is, but that's what she said. She went through with that, but he had told her basically that he was separate from his wife. They were separating, and they're no longer together, and that he was living with like his cousin, but he actually was still living with his wife and kids. Yeah, I've been busy. It's good. Stay busy, my friend. It's good to stay busy. Sorry, I wanted to check my connection, but I mean, it's pretty scandalous. The things that has been going on with Derek and his philandering all over town. Ultimately, I think there's a lot of people that associate themselves, or I should say, assert themselves into the body of Christ, but A lot of them aren't Christians. Everybody said that they're Christians. Everybody say they're a believer, but they don't really live the life of a believer. Unfortunately, there are, kids involved in this whole situation. He has three kids with his wife, so that family is, broken. The woman, unfortunately, too, she doesn't seem to be doing well. Of course not. Your husband left you, cheated on you multiple times. In addition to him cheating on her, one woman even said that he brought her back to their home and they were doing their business in their marriage bed, like literally, not figuratively. Like he took a woman to his house and committed adultery in the bed that he shared with his wife. Like I just don't see why she would continue to accept his behavior, and the fact that she allowed him to, get the divorce is crazy to me. After all of this disrespect, dang, yeah, it's outrageous. And I know that, for religious reasons, because his wife is a Christian, that she stood by his side and she said she's a prayer warrior. I do have a message for some of the YouTubers that are, not really Christians and they're reporting on this because I'd noticed some really outrageous behavior regarding the situation as far as her faith. I would say this: watch your mouth, all of y'all. Y'all need to watch y'all mouth because the stuff I was seeing on YouTube talking about, I guess her helmet of salvation didn't help her. Watch your mouth because at this point you're talking about things of God and you don't know what you're saying. You might be, you know, stepping on the side of like slander here and blaspheming. So I know y'all, a lot of y'all on YouTube don't believe in God and you don't live your life according to God. But a lot of y'all are heathens and it shows. So again, watch what you're saying because you might condemn yourself. Because you're not just talking about this woman, you're talking about scriptural stuff, and I find that to be highly disrespectful. Because that a lot of that stuff is things that we use as believers to edify ourselves with the scripture of God, and they're using it like a joke. I saw one woman, Tasha K. She was saying something like, she was like fake praying in tongues and like throwing holy water. I was just like outraged. Like I was really outraged by some of that stuff. Greetings, all. Hey, Jack. Must be the money. Well, I guess Derrick had built up his wealth over the course of years, but um, his wife said that they knew each other since they were teenagers. So I think they said they were married for 4 years, and but previous to that, I believe they were still together for a number of years. So she pretty much knew him when he was, a nobody and wasn't rich. So I don't really think on a wife's part it has anything to do with funds. Maybe on the women that he's meeting now, because, a lot of those women seem like gold digger types. Maybe not the doctor though. She definitely was doing very well for herself. I mean, surgeons make a lot of money, and she was within the field of the type of surgeon that brought home a lot. She didn't need anything from him, but the other women, the Instagram, I'm just gonna say model to be respectful because the last live I pretty much called her a harlot. Um, but I don't know what else to say when you are, having affairs with a married man. The fame probably got to his head. I mean, yeah, I think so. When you have a platform where 98% of your followers are women and you get all this attention, I guess you don't know what to do with yourself because um, I heard as well that a lot of the women that he stepped out of his marriage with were women that were following him from his platform. So some of those women spoke out as well. There's a lot. There's a lot of women. This is some of the things that we heard about. Is just the stuff that got on the internet, but there are other women, that he's just I would be concerned for the wife. Maybe she should go. I hope she's taking care of her health. I would definitely go get me a full panel STD scan because you just don't know what's going on. One woman even said that when she had met up with him to do their business, he was he performed fellatio on her and also did not want to use protection. So I would definitely go ahead and do a checkup just to make sure. He was thinking with something, but it wasn't his head, unfortunately. I definitely know what you mean. Um, it's unfortunate, If I were the wife, if I were her, I would just start making a plan, make sure the divorce is done. Um, well, I would make sure that you're financially set. I mean, he's a millionaire now, so I'm sure he has the financial means to take care of his kids. So I would just make sure he's doing all of those due diligence and move on with your life and just keep seeking God. I don't know the mental state of his wife. I don't pretend to know these people on a personal level, but I know a lot of secular people are saying that she doesn't seem well mentally, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but I do think that there is some truth to that. And I think that when you are in a marriage where you are not being respected and your husband is stepping out on you and, well, all of the other issues that come with marriage and just public humiliation, your mental health can't be good, you know? So I think it's best that she seeks some type of counseling, maybe a faith based counseling. Like, you can actually get pastors that are counselors nowadays. You can hand select these type of people to help you out. So I definitely think that would be important and just staying off the internet. I don't know what it is with this like last 2 3 months with just these failed marriages, but gosh, like, it's been really bad. I honestly believe like love is dead, like marriage is dead, like just because of the generation that we're in. And some people might say, oh, that's very negative of you to say, and it's not true. Well, if it ain't true, then, where's the proof? Because look at all of this, TJ Holmes, all these people, and I'm sure more will come. We'll go into the next year with more scandals of marriages, cheating allegations. God is exposing all these people. And it's unfortunate because I know a lot of Christian people do seek for marriage because it's a part of, the Bible and God wants that for us. But is it ultimately worth it in these days where you can't even find commitment from either or the man or the woman? It just seems like a lot of people from this generation, this wicked generation that we're in, they're only seeking to satisfy their flesh. And the sad part is you can't even properly vet people because who knows? You might trust in someone, you might give them your time, and then you think that you might have found a prize. But in a couple months, a couple years down the line, you might find out that the person you're dealing with is a full fledged narcissist. Then what? Then what when you've already got your finances tied up with the person, you probably living together? Then you have to make an escape plan. And who the heck wants to live in this type of turmoil? I hope she gets tested. This is sad. Whatever happened to real love and respect for one another? Exactly. It's pretty sad, and I can't even encourage young people to even like get into marriages or date for marriage anymore because the foolishness that I'm seeing. And the sad thing is, when we talk about subjects like this, people try to make it so exclusive to celebrities and famous people. But the same thing is happening to regular people. The only difference is these people are public individuals and you see this stuff splattered all over the internet. So it's easy to like disassociate yourself with all this and say, "Oh, well, that's them. That's them." No. I see this in everyday life, in my own personal circle of family members and friends, if they even make it to marriage, but I see it all the time. This is very common. And people just, again, it's kind of like when you see the news and you see some kind of horrific thing happen, and people say stuff like, that would never happen to me, but it really could happen to you. It could, but I think Jackson needs to prioritize what's really important. I don't know if he's, has any redeemable qualities. It doesn't seem like it at this point. The one Caribbean woman that he was cheating on his wife with, at some point he started recording his videos on her deck at her home, and she was in a full-fledged relationship with him while he continued to lie to her and tell her, yeah, me and my wife are not together. I'm staying with my cousin. I've been to my cousin for this number of days and months or whatever, but it wasn't even true. And she ultimately saw him make that video with his wife, where he came out and apologized to uh, his people that support him, his supporters, where the infamous video with the bonnet, where his wife came out with that bonnet on her head, and she was calling it her helmet of salvation. I know we all know, Christians, what she meant, but people were literally making fun of, like, figuratively we know what it means, but people were making fun of her for that. So now Derrick Jaxon is seeking after harlots. I saw the woman that he's currently dating, and she was the typical Instagram. I guess people say thotty, worldly people, they Instagram thotty or something. But she had the fake butt, the tattoos. She was shaking her butt on some Instagram video. I saw of her in that video wearing like really like weird clothes with like the back cut out and shorts that look like underwear. And I was just like, okay. I thought he said it was a Christian. Okay, but this woman doesn't seem real godly. The way she was walking in the street, like someone was filming this video for her. I guess it was maybe her friend or someone. The way she was walking in the street with those shoes on, like she could barely walk in those heels. I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this, but she literally looked like a streetwalker. She looked like one of them streetwalkers from the Grand Theft Auto games with those weird legs. You know how their legs are all spaced out and weird? And they look all like weird Barbie dolls with bow legs. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be funny, but she didn't look godly. I'll say that. But maybe that's not what he's looking for. Maybe he's looking for the ungodly woman, and he has a beautiful wife. I think she's beautiful. I know people were using terms for her like homely and and things like that, but I think she's a beautiful woman. I think she probably feels really bad because the woman that he chose to date is so far from what she is. But you really have to keep your eye open for men like this, because they'll tell you one thing and then go after another. Ultimately, I think he's really trying to fulfill his lust. I think after maybe a couple weeks or couple months of him being out there in these streets, as they say, he out there in these streets, and when he comes across these women that only want his time and attention for monetary gain, which is a majority of the type of women that are out there, he will learn a valuable lesson. But it might be too late. Not the GTA Streetwalker. Exactly. That's what she looked like. Honestly, she did, especially in that one particular video. She looked like she was gonna break her legs in those shoes. It might be better to just get some kind of flats. They have some really cute flat shoes that you can wear that will be more comfortable, especially if your legs are like spread out like that. But I don't know if she bow-legged. I am as well, but I'm a tall person, and I don't really wear them type of shoes. I would break my legs. She looked like she was gonna break her legs. But that's the type of woman he likes. He looking all paranoid in the video with her outside, dressed the way she is. That's the type of woman he goes after. The sergeant that he was sneaking around with, um, she said that he would say like really like mean things to her, like put her down and stuff. And she seemed like she was a, attractive woman, and she did well for herself. How tall are you? I'm about 5'7", 5'7.5" ish. I'm pretty tall. Um, so the surgeon, she said that I guess one day he had seen her, and I guess this was like one of her off days, because people do surgeries and things. They stay pretty busy within their job. I don't think these people even have a social life with that, and especially in the medical field. And if you make it to that type of job as a surgeon, there's no free time for nothing. And she said that one day she was on her off day, and I guess she was the type of woman that upkept herself in the way that she got like the manicure, the fake nails, and the lashes and stuff. I know because I used to do the lashes and the nails, and it's a lot of upkeep, man. And sometimes they have you looking real silly. So I just toned it down a lot. But that anyway, that's a different story. But she was the type to do that. And I guess one day she didn't have her lashes done, and she needed to get her nails kind of like touched up. And he said like, "Wow, you don't even look like the same person anymore." And then he started leaving, like started to leave her place, and he told her, "Well, you need to go do something with yourself. And when you do something with yourself, let me know." I was like, wow, the narcissism. He acted like this woman had dog poop on her face. All she did was take her lashes off. My gosh. Oh my gosh. And he came on that apology video acting like he was such a devout Christian, faithful man. But at the same time, he was the vainest person in the pulpit. Like, he's vain as heck. I mean, Jackson isn't that attractive, and I'm not trying to disrespect him, but personally, he's not somebody I would go after. And I'm pretty sure I'm not someone he would go after because I look probably too close to what his wife looks like, too homely, you know? So, so I'm definitely not his type neither. Definitely don't got fake butt and body parts, and GTA, street walking activities. But it seems like this character that he built for himself online is not who he is. Found you at last live. Hey, Sniper, and I see you again, my friend. But yeah, he's a whole fraud and a fake. He panders to women, online, and he doesn't believe anything he says. I saw a video of him earlier today talking about um, when a woman loves you and her love scares you, you think that she won't care for herself and leave you, but she might transfer that love to herself and leave you looking confused. And I was just like, is this the same man? Is this the same man? Who is this person? He acted like he was so philosophical, giving women all of this advice with soft music in the background, with his Donkey Kong arms. Like, gosh, who are you? God, if any woman listens to Derrick Jaxon, you're a fool. And I hope that his people, his subscribers, um, from his YouTube and on Instagram go flood his comments with fraud and fake and all that. You feel okay? Yeah, I'm okay, my friend. It's that season. It's that season. These kids, they keep me sick. But but yeah, Jackson telling this woman she need to go do something with herself for some eyelashes. Are you serious? Clearly, he's not the type to even be into natural beauty. That's why you can't listen to people. They tell you they like this or that and they go after something else. So you might as well just be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't listen to what people think you should look like or what you should do with yourself. Because I think Derrick Jackson's too full of himself. Because if you look at him, he really ain't that easy on the eyes. Is that the term they use? Easy on the eyes. He ain't that easy on the eyes, but he seemed like whatever supplements and stuff he takes to make himself look so buff, he might want to lay off of them because he looks like he can't put his arms down. Those arms are, growing past his body. I don't know if that's a look he's going for. You know what? Let me stop. I don't want to make it seem like I'm slandering this man because that wasn't the point of the video. I'll just let that go. But I'm just saying, he can't come for nobody. He ain't that good looking. At least in my eyes, he ain't. You know, it was the smooth talking that got me when I listened to his videos. Not in some type of attraction, but I was just like, wow, this man is smart. But I guess he outsmarted all of us because he was playing the character. Let's clap it up for Derrick Jaxon. If I could clap right now, if I could hold my other hand and clap for him, I'll give him a round of applause because he really tricked us all, making us think that he was this devout Christian husband. And some of the advice that he was giving, if you really listen, he really just talking about himself. Really, Patrima. Hey, Patrima. He played us. Yeah, he did. All these black women following him, believing the stuff he says. He's literally just, using his own life. Hey, good night, friends. Hey, Patrima. Now I know that good night does not mean you're leaving. Now I know. But yeah, and he's not alone. There's many Derrick Jacksons online pandering to women, lying to them, and telling them what he thinks they want to hear. I think he has some type of segment on like BBWs as well, but it's probably all a lie as well. His personal opinions. He really doesn't care for the wife homely types. He's looking for the street walking GTA women, okay? That's what he out here doing. Go ahead, live your life because God gave you free will on this earth. Just like he has free will, his wife has free will, I have free will, we all have free will. But just know that the choices that you make, you might have to pay for those later. Now he out here, like how Future say, he's for the streets. No, he said she's for the streets, but it's for him, it's the male version. He's for the streets. So he's in the streets right now, picking up streetwalkers. So go ahead, live your life. Yes, he was talking from a sinner point. They say he wanted a divorce because his wife did not work. But she did. But she did. See, she did not work, but she did because he used her whole cheating as a made platform. I heard that when they met, she was the one working and she took care of the kids. And I don't know if this is true, but this is what I heard. And then when he started doing his online stuff, then she stopped working. This is what I heard. Like basically, they helped each other come up, and then one stopped working, and the other took care of the kids, and he did his whole internet stuff and built that up, while she stayed home with the children and did everything in the home. That's still a job. That is a job. Do people know how expensive it is to hire people to do these type of jobs? I think that people discount this when it comes to women. And a lot of people who don't have kids, when you do have kids and you need those services, you're going to come to a rude awakening, especially if you're a single parent or even if you are a two-parent home and you don't have time for certain things that you need that extra help. Do you know that when it comes to a daycare, if you have your kids in daycare, the cost of putting your kids in daycare, you have to pay that bill every single week. And the median cost of that is at least almost $300 to $400 a week. Okay, and that's with a decent daycare. If you're going for luxury, it's even more, but it's around that range, 300. If you get 200, you're blessed because, wow, that's cheap. 300, 400 weekly. Okay, so if you add that up with what you're paying each month, you're literally paying to someone's mortgage. Okay, and that is not specific to where I am. That is everywhere. Daycare is extremely expensive. Could you imagine hiring a maid? Do you know how expensive it is to hire a maid? You might as well just live on in a box because it's not affordable. It's not. So you have one person doing all these jobs. These are her kids, of course, and some might say, "Oh well, why should she be paid for taking care of her own kids?" Well, go ahead and take the woman out the equation. Let's see how you would do it on your own. If I was her, I would go to the gym, get my workout on, clean my diet up, clean my space up, get back into the church. If she didn't leave, get back in the church. And then I would have him have the kids 50% of the time. So so that he will see what it's like to have the kids instead of getting on Instagram and YouTube and filming videos in his car all day and sleeping around and leaving the home. I'll let him have the kids half the time. That's what she needs to do. And you can have the kids days out the week, and I can take the rest. I take the two, and I'll take care of myself. That's what she should do. I know this is off topic a bit, but what do you think of today's modern women who only want rich men that's 6 foot tall, six figures? That's sad. We normal men are not good enough for them. Well, oh Lord, this is controversial. Um, so I'll put it this way. I do not think women should date men that are not financially stable. I really do not think that. And I'm coming from the point of, and I'm not talking about rich. That this is a huge difference. We talking about 6 figure men. Where are they? I don't see them. That's a very small group of people. Like when it comes to statistics, that's a very like what is that, the 3% or 5%? I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna walk down the street or go to the Walmart and see a 6 figure earning man. You just don't come across that very much. But I don't think women should date men that are not financially stable. When I say that, I mean, do you have a 401k? Are you saving? Are you renting to possibly go into a home to invest in your property, so that when you have children one day, you can hand down that property to your children? If you're just putting your paycheck in your account and blowing it and then buying sneakers and stupid things, I just don't think women should seriously invest their time with a man like that. And vice versa. If the woman is blowing her paycheck and she has no plan for the future, how can you see yourself with her? That's a burden. She's just gonna, take what you have and not save. I think that people should practice save better saving habits. Currently, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting my money aside to buy a home, and once that home is paid off, it'll go to my children. When I'm old and I'm out of here, they'll have it. They can have my cars, and there will be savings accounts set up for them. And also, I'm gonna leave some assets for them as well, so that they're not out here lacking. So I understand why some women would not want to date a man that's not stable, because if you bear children with these people and you have to watch your children suffer for the rest of their life because you don't have the financial means to take care of them, it's just not smart. It's not smart. Plus, a lot of men say back in the day, marriage was a business deal, right? If it's a business deal, then it should be conducted in some business type of way. It's just not smart, you know. Um, and I don't know, if you're asking for traditional setup, traditional way of living, I think that is a better route to go in. But personally, I've not come across 6 figure men on a normal basis. I've met a lot of dudes that run the streets. I'm not dating them, but I have met those type of men, and they say the same thing. Women just looking for rich dudes, and I'm thinking, are you rich? Like, why would they say something like that? Like, is this person rich? Like, what are they? Why do they think that they're out of money if they ain't even rich? And I think at the same time, you have to align yourself with the right people, because if you go after Instagram thoughts and they're looking for your money, I don't know what to tell you, because you're setting yourself up right there. This is the type of woman that would definitely want something in return. Um, but right, 60,000 to 100,000 a year. I think that's a good spot. I think so. 60K, you can definitely put some savings aside. I'm working hard right now. I'm working hard to like buy this house. By next year, I'll be in my first house. So he could have let her work online instead of forcing her out of the house. Now he will pay child support. And yeah, that's touchy too because they have 3 kids together. I don't know what kind of job she would be able to hold down with 3 kids and daycare. When I said that the you have to pay $300-400 a week, that's for one child. If you have all 3 of them in daycare, it doesn't it wouldn't work. It would not work. That's 2 mortgages. It would never work. So him keeping her at home is literally saving money, okay? And I'm not joking. If you have kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Paying daycare is throwing your money into a pit. It's extremely expensive. I'm not exaggerating. Look up the cost of daycare. It is so expensive. When I was presented with these prices, when I had to put my kids in daycare, I was literally shocked. I was shocked. It's so expensive that some married couples would literally quit a job and have one of the parents stay home until the kids can go to like kindergarten, and then they would start working again. That's how bad it is. I think that there needs to be some type of like legislative change, government intervention in daycare because it's that bad. Let's see. He needs a vasectomy. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. But, I don't think this guy is thinking too much into the future because you're right. If he gets other women pregnant, just how Sniper Lion Live was talking about women looking for money, he's going to encounter these type of women because they're going to trap him. Now, Instagram street walking GTA girl, she's the type. She's like, oh well, I don't know what happened, but I'm pregnant now, and then all of a sudden you see them break up, and then she take him right to court for child support and everything. Yep, Ali is giving $1,000 to pregnant women to help them. That's off topic. I saw that the other day. It's never in the states I live in though. That sucks because that would definitely help with some daycare. But I did see that. I agree. He hasn't he's not have to be rich, but he must be able to support a family or two or more. I mean, if he's living at this type of lifestyle where he is kind of out there with all these women, I think he's gonna go broke because if all these women get pregnant and they all take him for child support, it's not gonna be good for him. Good points. Modern women who go after rapper men who play in the NFL, NBA, etc., stuff like that. Yeah, I don't understand the women that like seek relationships with like especially rappers. Yeah, NFL people, sports dudes, and then they expect these men to be loyal to them. Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Literally go into that relationship knowing you're gonna get cheated on. Now, if you came into the with a mindset like, yeah, I know I'm gonna just use this and ride till the wheels fall off and get what I can from it, because that's the type of women that seek these men, and then they get upset and say, well, why he cheating on me? Why he can't be loyal to me? And then they say, oh, I'm not gonna date no more rappers, and then they date another rapper and another ball player. I would never date these people. Never. And there's a certain mindset of these type of people. They look, these people, these men are only as loyal as their options. I would not. It's just not a good idea. If you want a good functioning relationship, just look for somebody in a normal career. You could still like find a man that has good saving and money habits, um, that is not a ball player or a rapper or in the NFL. They're out there wherever they are. I don't know, but I'm not looking for any, but I guess they're out there somewhere. I don't know. Even celebrities that date rappers and stuff, Anytime I see them, I just feel pitiful for them. It's just like, why? Like, why would you think that's a feasible option? Like, how can I take you seriously? As a man who believes in marriage, a person must love themselves before they love another. That's right. You gotta have self worth and self confidence. And I'm really learning that, like as I'm getting older, to just not put up with certain things like I used to. You really have to have the mindset that if you see any red flags in your relationship, that you are ready to step away and you let the person know that, like, I'm ready to like bounce like that, like bam, like I'm out of here. Like that's the mindset that I have right now. Because if you think about it, all of like really bad relationships you've all had, you've seen these red flags and you just kept ignoring them. So, some people just do it out of desperation or feeling lonely, and not wanting to be alone, and but they know the person is not right for them, you know. But as far as what your sniper lion said, I think it's important for both couples. Like if a man and a woman is in a relationship, both of them to have good money habits, because you just never know when something comes up. You never know. Um, but yeah, there's definitely gold diggers out there. There's a lot of gold diggers. I've met a couple. There's a lot in New York City too. They talk greasy, but I remember there was this girl that I met in a hair salon, and she was a Dominican girl, and me and the other coworkers, we used to call her Loca. And of course, you guys know in Spanish, that means crazy, because she was very wild. Like she had a lot of energy, and we were like, "Yeah, hey, what's up, Loca?" And she liked the name, and she didn't thought it was insulting or anything. But one time, I was doing her hair for her, and we were sitting in the salon chairs or whatever. And she started talking, and she talked about relationships and stuff. And she was the type of woman to say, "Oh yeah, she not dating like a guy that's not that's broke." I don't know what her definition of broke was, but uh, I guess that was her standard. So um, I think a couple, maybe a year later, I had ended up leaving that salon. I didn't work there no more, but I still had her number, and she left as well, because I think that salon was not like picking up traffic, and there was issues with the owners and stuff. And I told her like, "Hey girl, like I'm working at this new salon, and they're opening up like another location. Like if you wanted to come down and look at the place, that'll be cool." So she said, "All right." She still lived in Brooklyn, and I left Brooklyn and went to start living in Queens. So she said like, "Hey, like you want to come with me and my boyfriend to look at the place?" Because I think that day I was not working. So she's like, "Tell me the address, whatever." So her boyfriend rolls up to the apartment, like where I was living at with my mom at the time, and he picks us up in some like fancy sports car. And he was the type of guy that she would be interested in, the one with the money. When I tell you, I sat in the back of that ugly ass sports car with like this small ass seat, and I was embarrassed for her. This guy was a piece of crap. He was a piece of crap. Like, he had the money, but he didn't have any respect for her. He was disgusting. He was an ass. And I never wanted to see him again. Like, I told her, like, I was like, "Girl, like, what are you doing? Like, who is this guy?" Like, and I was thinking, like, where the heck did she find him? He was such a douche. And I remember, like, there was one time I was in the salon with her when we were still working at the first salon together, and I think she had said a comment to me about like about my like relationship or something. Like she made a snarky comment like, mm, like girl, you need to pick better, basically, like you're not smart. She said something like, "Oh, you're not smart." And like because of like the person I had picked, the guy that I was dating, I think he wasn't the best. I'm not gonna lie, that was a horrific situation, but she knew very little about what was going on. So for her to like say what she said, it's like, girl, mind your business. You really don't know nothing. But I just found it ironic that years later, when I saw her again, she was with the douche, and the guy she was with, like I could tell she was embarrassed as hell. He talked to her like shit, okay? And I heard like later on that there was like some physical abuse like going on. Like I think he put hands on her. Um, but she was willing to put up with it for the sake of like having money and like were driving around in his fancy car. And when they drove off and they had took me from the salon, and she ultimately like said like she didn't want to work in the salon or whatever. I guess it was below her or whatever. And when she had took off in a car with him and they dropped me home, he was even rude to me as well. You know, I guess he felt like I looked too regular. I was not like supermodel status. I was not hot enough to be in his ugly ass car. But he was he um he was a very disrespectful person. And I remember when they took off, and I was just like, wow, what a sad sight to see. She was telling me that I was like not smart, but girl, ultimately you not smart because you sold your soul for a nice car and some finances. Like you literally are like for sale, you know? For the love of money is the root of all evil. God never said we couldn't have money. He blessed Job in the Bible because Job listened to God. He only has problem if we put money above him. That's right, amen. That's right. And a lot of people will sell their soul for nothing, you know? But nah, there is women like that. There is women like this. And they will take a lot of damage just for money and status. You will see them even break character of who you think they are to just date some like douchebag because he has pockets or he might be in the inner circles with people that may be able to help her come up. But I've seen women like this, you know. And the sad part is too, some women got this idea in their head like if they get a guy that have money, they won't have to deal with the broke antics of a broke man. But honestly, the some of the broke dudes will put you just as much through hell in their brokenness uh, as much as the guy with the money. So it really is like the character of the person and what kind of habits that they have. Because I've met men that may not necessarily have made six figures, but they've made good money for themselves. And what I've found is a lot of those dudes are douchey. You know, I don't vibe with that type of energy. I know some people can, especially if the person is very vain within themselves. But I just don't vibe with that type of person. We deflect each other like magnets. I just can't. I just can't do it. I'm at the age right now where I know what kind of personalities I mesh well with, and that is not it, you know. And unfortunately, I was around a certain individual that I will be, I mean, will be nameless, that was in the circles with these type of douchey characters, and I hated like going places with them because they would put me in those circles because they themselves was trying to feel important, and they in some way align themselves with that very vain characteristic. So with that type of spirit, you have people around you that have a similar spirit. And I was extremely uncomfortable because I was always encountering those same people with different faces around this person, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't. And I just had to stop hanging out around that person. A lot of good brothers like us out here, but these new women don't want us. They want the bad boys. Yeah, there is women like this. And I see videos from the manosphere side of YouTube that is pretty extreme, and some that is telling the truth because I saw this one video of this guy, and I guess he would like consider himself kind of lame, and he was talking about that same thing about women that only go after men that are bad boys. Hey, princess. Hey, sister. And this is true. This is true. There's a definitely a very particular type of woman that's like this. I'll give you an example. I met this woman, and I won't say her name or nothing, and she was a stripper. I didn't know she was a stripper. No, I did know she was a stripper because she had the look of a stripper. If you think about this typical body type, she had that look. And she never told me she was a stripper, but like when I mentioned it to her, I was like, I'm not trying to be rude, but were you like, she actually lied about it. I know she was lying because like she was talking about her past and she alluded to that type of like lifestyle. But like when I asked her about it, I guess she's trying to like maybe distance herself from the idea as far as it attaching to her image, but the way she carries herself and the men she associated with, you definitely tell she was a stripper. She literally lied to my face. She was a stripper, and she she said something similar. Like she's the type of girl that be in the hood, like she talk greasy. She like money. She's the type of women that wear designer this, designer that. You know, everything is like Jordans, Nikes. The kids is wearing the Jordans and the Nikes. But she's that type of female, and she said something about her dating habits. I remember she was talking about some guy that she said the dude was gonna move to meet her. He was moving from another state to come to where she is, and she ain't really was dating this man for very long. It was long distance, and he was in the streets. He was hustling. Cause when I asked her like what he do for a living, whatever, she said he was hustling. And I was just like, she's a grown woman. She is grown, like a hustler. Like, are you freaking serious? You serious? And she got two kids, like, so she don't really know this dude. He moving from one state to come live with her kids. You don't even know if he a pedo. You don't know what he on. You don't know what he be doing. You don't know him like that. And he don't have a legit job. I mean, what? Like, I just don't make no sense to me why you will entertain that type of person. Money can't buy a way into heaven, so people forget about that. Yeah, and it's like it's a very specific mentality too because when I was talking to this woman, it was just like you could definitely tell she got a hood mentality. The way she talked, the way she carried herself, she just she ain't my circle. I'll say that. She's not like somebody I would pick to say this is my friend. And it's not because of like judgmental or trying to like be holier than thou. Her attitude was stank as well. She had a stank attitude. I didn't want to hang out around her no more. Like I see her from time to time, I just go the other way. She say something, all right, hey, good morning. She was very stank. Her attitude stank. You know, she the type of woman to say that stuff like, I don't like broke niggas. It's girl bye. Just it's like these dudes, like the hood dudes and the hood chicks, that's their counterparts. That's who y'all need to stay with. Stay over there with your hood shenanigans, because I ain't a part of that stuff. I don't want to be a part of that stuff. Because I'm definitely speaking on a very specific personality type. And it's not even to judge these people. These is characters that is rocky. And these is rocky characters. These are not people that you put trust in because they got the mentality of hustle. They hustle people. You know, this girl was trying to like befriend me for the wrong reasons. And the thing is, these gold digger type women, they They don't just target men, okay? They will inject themselves into circles with women if they feel like they could come up off of them, friends, women, associates, all that. So it's just like I was getting this weird feeling from this woman. She kept trying to like, like befriend me, but I felt this like weird fakeness with her. And then it's just like after I had dinner with her with somebody else, I was like, oh, I see. Like God was exposing her character to me, and told me like just step away from this. Like I was like, and I didn't really know her like that, but I was trying to be nice because she kept inviting me to things, and she was like, oh, come to my this and that, and I'm like, I'm busy because I work a lot, so I just kept my distance. But men feel like victimized by these type of women, but like they don't understand they also do this stuff to other women as well. Like you have to think these people are narcissistic, okay? Anybody they could leech off of or attach themselves to, if they feel like they could come up off you, they will, okay? She saw me like driving my car and my other car. I guess she had thought like I was like balling or something. No, I'm not balling. I'm just saving, and I'm trying to like, keep my finances together. I'm trying to buy this house next year for my children so they could have something. So she just thought like if she attached herself to me, maybe I could get her into some inner circles of like, look, I don't know nobody. I know why she thought that, but you don't think you could eat off me? You can't eat off me. So again, people think women only do this to men. They do it to women too. You know, you uh, you just avoided a big headache, sister. For real, like. I don't hang out with people like this. I don't vibe with you, and it's not even on some like, some judgmental stuff. I literally don't vibe with them. I can't really carry a conversation with them because when you start talking greasy and disrespectful, like I just can't continue the conversation. Like we not meeting on the same page. And then when anything in God come up in that, it's like a disconnect. You ever notice that with these people? They're always ungodly. Or if they do talk about God, they're the type of people to go to the club on Saturday and be at church on Sunday. You can't serve two masters, man. I've had my little club days of trying to like be, think I was being free, but really in bondage. But that stuff is over. Like it's not fun. It's not fruitful. But if you well into your 30s, going to your 40s in the club still, come on, come on. But what that woman was doing though highly dangerous. You bringing a man to your house from a different state. You don't know him. He don't have a legitimate job. He said he a hustler. What is he hustling? You bringing a man like that into your home with your kids, young kids. This is a scary situation. I hope to God that you praying, about that situation. I don't know her like that, but I hope she is to protect your kids because that's look, I'll stay single until Jesus return to make sure my kids are protected. I love my kids and they deserve a good life and they deserve a safe life, so I just I just wish that there were better mothers out there. I see a lot of women, you know, desperate for a relationship, not properly, vetting these men. They don't know who they are, but you're so desperate for a relationship that you take anybody, you know, because you see, some dollar signs and stuff. But it's just not smart. It can create a lot of trauma for these kids growing up in these crazy situations, bringing hustlers into your home. It's just stupid. Honestly, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I think she's dumb as hell. Dumb. It's dumb as hell to be doing something like that. Nah, it's just not a good idea. Look, I guess we've all made our bad choices and mistakes. I have as well, but it's important to be learning from them. And when I'm at the stage right now where I am learning from my mistakes, and I just want my kids to be well taken care of and safe. And if I'm able to do that on my own in Jesus' name, actually I'm not on my own. Jesus is with me. Amen. I think that's important to try and not try to look for people to come up on off and you know look for people you could eat off. Make your own money. I make my own money. Make your own money. Just damn. I hate people that come into friendships or relationships under false pretenses. Come on, you don't love that person. You just want something. Just tell them what you want. Maybe I could write a contract out together. Then you won't feel like the person might not feel like you trying to sucker them, you know? Anyway, that was a rant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I went in for no reason. But just be careful of people that try to hustle you. I've been hustled for many times. My people giving me fake sob stories, lying, playing on my heart because they know that I'm a believer and just hustling me for but lying really. I'm going back to school for my GED. Hope it's time left to get it before the world gets bad. Amen, friend. And if this is something that you feel led to do, go ahead and do it. But you're right. I don't know how much time we have left. I really do not. But if you feel like God is leading you to do it, you should. But I get the same feeling you get, like we in the last days, and we don't know when all this is about to get crazy because it's already crazy right now. So much weird stuff is happening, prophecy being fulfilled. So I'm trying to keep my eyes on God. Um, but you guys, just like I always tell you, keep what you have. Keep what you have. We're in the last days, man. It is wild out there. Antichrist stuff coming out. The Yehuda guy, what's his name? Yeah, Rav Yehuda something. The name is so long. Did you hear about the lockdown in China? Heck yeah, that stuff was crazy. Them Chinese people are sick of that Chinese government, the CCP. They are sick of them. They were tearing down them walls, those borders. The Chinese government is one of the wickedest government I've ever seen in this world. They literally let babies, newborns die before they let them people cross the border to get any type of care for their children. That's the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like the kids, the babies was like running fevers. Some of them literally passed away and they took no responsibility. It's only after the people started tearing down the walls and coming out that they actually started doing anything about it. But I don't believe that the government is going to let them revolt. I think they'll try to kill him first. So these people are gonna have to go into a full-fledged revolt and start burning stuff before anything gets done. I also heard about all of these people getting uh, cryptocurrency millionaires and billionaires getting killed. Don't be surprised if the government has something to do with this. I heard about it and I didn't want to do a video on it because I feel like if people get too deep into investigating this, don't be surprised if they end up getting killed as well. People died in house fires because the fire took truck couldn't get to them. Wow. That is horrible. Jeez. That is literally horrible. That is an emergency. Why the heck wouldn't they let those trucks in? Like the look, I'm telling you from now on, the Chinese government is doing this to hide zombies. There are zombies over there and they are putting up the borders to control the zombie outbreak. That is what they're doing. They are hiding something over there. You remember when COVID first hit and then China was putting out fake inflated numbers talking about because their people were wearing the mask over there that their numbers were going down while the United States COVID numbers were skyrocketing. They're like, oh, well, it's our practices of wearing masks. And that is why we're doing so well and our economy's bouncing back. Lies. Look at them now. Lies. It was all a lie. It was just a cover up propaganda. And look at the United States. We are bouncing back. And they are in the crap hole because they were always in the crap hole because they practice really bad hygiene over there, especially with the markets and the food over there and the way they treat their air. Like, it's crazy. The pollution is horrible. So I'm not surprised that that stuff, the COVID, spread like wildfire. I'm not surprised because they were lying. They had the streets blocked off. That's sad. Yeah, all over the place. They blocked everything off. And I saw a woman tearing it down, and they arrested her. Where, on some dude too, they arrested a bunch of people. I don't know why anybody would move there. A lot of Americans moved to China a couple years ago because they wanted to like do teaching jobs because there's a lot of teaching jobs over there for them for English teachers. I would not suggest anybody else move down there for those purposes because you might not be able to come back at all. And then, if you die over there, then you best believe they're gonna cover that up. Them Chinese people gonna cover all that. We never heard of them. They never been here. We don't know what you're talking about. Wow. Look, they hiding zombies. I think that's what it is. Their people is turning into the Walking Dead over there, and they're trying to cover it up. Don't be surprised that later on, next year, you're gonna see videos of full-fledged Asian people turning into zombies walking the streets. Mm-mm-mm. Like, why are they acting like this? Why are they trying to shut all the videos down from the internet? What are they hiding? I told y'all the zombie outbreak is going to start up over there, and I really truly believe that is what they're hiding, because I feel like the virus has mutated, and now they have people walking around like zombies. They're probably trying to quarantine them off so that they can hide what's going on, and they're testing these people daily for the jab. I mean the infection, but they're telling people, oh, well, even if you're not sick, you still have to get tested. What are you looking for? Hmm? If the whole household doesn't have the virus, why do they have to keep getting tested every day? And then the people made a good point because it was translating in Chinese. From Chinese, they was like, if we're all not sick, and then the whole household doesn't have the infection, why do we have to go to these camps to get tested? And then we integrate with other people that have the virus and bring it back home. It's not really about that. They're hiding something, okay? They say we could have another outbreak, OMG. Yeah, I believe so. Because when I told you guys, like 2 years ago, when I went to New York City and I caught it, months before they announced it, I was severely sick, you know, and I couldn't figure it out. I was sick for almost like what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It was horrible. And then a few months later, it was like, oh, there is a outbreak of what it was been over there. It's been circulating over there, and I know where I got it from. I went to this Chinese restaurant with my ex when I was over there a few years ago, and it was the cook was in the back coughing his lungs out. Okay, this cook was he was coughing so bad in the Chinese restaurant that he couldn't even function. I was like, oh my goodness, like he doesn't look so good. Took the food with me, ended up eating the food with him, and I brought it back right over here. Brought the sickness back. Couldn't even breathe. Okay, doctor couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Traveled to New York and came back here in horrific conditions. Like, I thought I was gonna die. I was praying every night. I said, Jesus, please don't take me out like this. I literally felt myself getting close to death. I felt like I was going to go to sleep and die in my sleep. It was horrible. You talking about the man in the China who got up from the table in the morgue? I didn't see that, but but that's even more confirmation. I didn't know that stuff was going on. But no, they're hiding something. The Chinese people are hiding something. And look at the extent they're going to shut people down from putting out the videos. What's going on? And how the heck did your numbers decrease so little? and you all was doing so good because you're wearing your mask, and then all of a sudden they're going back to square one. Something is going on over there. They're hiding something over there. Remember, this came from China, okay? This this stuff, this infection came from over there. Ground zeroes over there. Remember, they spread this across the world. So whatever else is going on over there, they're trying to cover it up because they don't want to be responsible for it. That's what it is. They're trying to protect their image at the cost of killing people, hurting babies, burning people's houses down. Like, they don't care. They'll go to any extent. They'll do anything. You know, people from China that have millionaire businesses, millionaires that are there. Did you know their government takes their money? Like, these people end up missing, dead, and the government takes over their corporations and it's government owned. Like, this is a common practice. There's so many stories about million and billionaire Chinese people that built like their companies from the ground up only to disappear, get killed by the CCP, and the government took their entire business and owns the whole business. Or they threaten them if they want to keep them alive, threaten them and take like 90% of their assets and leave them with almost nothing. You know, it is the worst place to live or to build anything. Will God protect us from the virus? Of course, amen. Of course. Think about what he's already has. He already has many people, many Christians have endured this and they will continue to endure. I think it's the heathens that are going to start turning into the walking dead zombies. You know, like Rick says, they're walkers. There's going to be a bunch of walkers walking all over the place. I literally had dreams about it, that it was like breaking news on the TV. I saw, you know, demonic creature looking people attacking people in droves. There was thousands of them, okay? It was crazy. Y'all better protect yourself out there. Have a little weapon, a bat, something in your home. You never know, you might need it later. It might come in handy. Something to protect yourself and your families, you know. Stock up some waters, you know, some canned goods. And just keep praying, y'all. Keep praying. But I've been on here pretty long. But honest, I really, truly, honestly believe them people hiding something over there. They're going too far to cover it up. I've seen them go to the extent like never before in this situation. They're doing something. Something is happening over there. But anyway, y'all, I want to thank y'all for fellowshipping with me tonight. I gotta get some rest. I got work in the morning. But anyway, may the Lord bless you. May He shine His light upon you. May the God of the Bible give you peace, not only today, but forever and ever. And those who believe say, Amen. Amen, you guys. Again, thank you for coming and fellowshipping with me. I believe the mark is close soon. I think so too. Because look, the Antichrist is here already. You know, and soon they'll say, we all need this. You know, you can't go anywhere without it. No more buying any food in the grocery store, y'all. You're gonna have to start making your own crops and stuff. Um, but anyway, y'all, want to thank y'all for coming. Y'all have a blessed night. Good night, y'all.